Hi, I am Kim Fernie and welcome to Compliance Clips, an educational initiative intended to promote compliance and raise awareness of important university expectations. Following this brief video, we encourage you to refer to the informational section on our website where you can find printable materials highlighting key takeaways and resources for this compliance topic.
My name is Kim Caprio. I am a Deputy Title IX Coordinator in the Office of Institutional Equity, and I will be walking you through this compliance clip. UConn is committed to maintaining a safe and non-discriminatory learning, living, and working environment for all members of the UConn community. Each one of us is responsible for maintaining an environment where people are free to learn and work without fear of facing discrimination, discriminatory harassment, or interpersonal violence. Research shows that discrimination and harassment in learning and working environments is widespread and negatively impacts individuals and campus culture. UConn aspires to be a leader in the prevention and response to these issues and seeks to create an environment where people are free to learn and work without fear of facing discrimination or harassment. This brief video is intended to provide information about UConn's responsible employee reporting obligations around issues of discrimination, harassment, and related interpersonal violence. It also provides information about what happens after a report is made. The policy against discrimination, harassment, and related interpersonal violence outlines the definitions of discrimination, discriminatory harassment, sexual or gender-based harassment, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, intimate partner violence, stalking, complicity, and retaliation, collectively known as prohibited conduct. All of the prohibited conduct definitions can be found in the policy. The policy also contains helpful information regarding responsible employee reporting obligations, the difference between privacy and confidentiality, and more. The full policy can be accessed online and on the Office of Institutional Equity's OIE's website, equity.uconn.edu.
Please note, in this clip, whenever the policy is referenced, we are referring to the full policy against discrimination, harassment, and related interpersonal violence. Additionally, two terms that will be used during this clip are complainant and respondent. Complainant means the individual who presents as the victim survivor of any prohibited conduct under the policy. Respondent means the individual who has been identified as potentially having violated the policy.
Per the policy, supervisors have a heightened duty to report to OIE reports or concerns about discrimination and harassment. Deans, directors, department heads, and supervisors are obligated to report any discrimination, harassment, or inappropriate amorous relationship where the complainant or respondent is an employee as soon as it is known to them. It is important to note that for supervisors, the failure to report this information is a policy violation in and of itself.
For example, let's say you are a UConn employee who supervises Jean. Jean is leading a project involving several staff members whom Jean supervises, including Sam. Sam asks to speak with you, and Sam shares that Jean made several comments and jokes about how Sam is incapable of doing a good job on a work project because of Sam's gender. Jean assigned Sam's responsibilities to a staff member with a different gender. This would need to be reported to OIE, as this may be discrimination based on a protected class. If you have any questions about these reporting obligations, please call OIE. It is especially important that supervisors read the policy in full. We recommend that you do so once a year and circulate the policy to your staff once a year as well.
Virtually all employees are responsible for reporting sexual assault, intimate partner violence, and stalking to OIE when these types of incidents are disclosed to them by a student. Very few employees on campus have the ability to keep these disclosures confidential. Those are mainly limited to those employed by counseling and medical services. Reporting to OIE is required when a student is reported to have been involved in such an incident, regardless of the date, location, on or off campus, or identities of other parties alleged to have been involved in the incident. This manner of reporting is important in order to ensure that impacted students are provided with timely and accurate information from trained staff about support resources and reporting options. In addition, responsible employee reporting informs the university of the general extent and nature of allegations of prohibited conduct on and off campus, so the university can track patterns and formulate appropriate campus-wide responses and prevention programs. For example, let's say a student, Alex, shares with a UConn employee that over the weekend they were touched without consent in a sensitive, private area of their body by an acquaintance at a party. This information would need to be reported to OIE, as this may be sexual contact, prohibited conduct under the policy. It would be important for trained staff at UConn to provide information to Alex about support resources and reporting options. Reports to OIE can be made online using an online form found on OIE's website, equity.uconn.edu, and by phone or email. OIE will ask you for all relevant details that you are aware of, either directly or indirectly, about the incident that the student or employee shared with you, including the names of the individuals involved and the incident date and location if known. Reports submitted via the online form or email will generate a response back to the reporting person. Then, the complainant will receive resources and reporting information from staff trained in response to these types of incidents. If the complainant has identified the respondent as a UConn student, the information will be provided to the Office of Community Standards. Community Standards is the office that investigates conduct under the student code when the respondent is a UConn student. The complainant may also then receive outreach from staff in that office via phone and/or email. If the complainant identified the respondent as a UConn employee, the complainant may then receive outreach from staff in OIE. OIE is the office that investigates conduct that falls under the Policy Against Discrimination, Harassment, and Related Interpersonal Violence when the respondent is an employee. Information about the incident, if it is or could be criminal in nature, will also be provided to the UConn Police Department so they can then determine if there is any threat to campus safety and to determine whether additional measures are warranted. Complainants can choose to participate or not in any university or law enforcement investigation process and can also have a support person attend any meetings with them. We hope this information has been helpful. If you have questions about the policy against discrimination, harassment, and related interpersonal violence, or your reporting obligations, contact the Office of Institutional Equity or visit equity.uconn.edu. Check out the resource document accompanying this clip for additional information and resources related to the policy, prohibited conduct definitions, employee reporting obligations, and contact information.
Thank you for your time, and be sure to check out other informational compliance clips in the near future. As always, please feel free to contact the University Compliance Office for information related to this or other compliance matters.